Hey everybody, I'm Ben Freer, an immigration lawyer who focuses on helping entrepreneurs. Today, I want to share a cool story about one of my recent clients. She applied for an E-2 visa for a salon business in the US, and I thought her journey might inspire or help someone who's considering a similar move. So let's dive in and talk about how she made it happen. Okay, so my client came to me with a dream of starting her own hair salon in the US. She had a lot of business experience, a solid plan for operations, and like many of my clients, she already understood many of the E-2 visa requirements. That was a great starting point, but we hit a snag when it came to timing. You see, when you apply for the E-2 visa, you need to have everything set up in advance. That means your investment has to be placed at risk, and your business ideally should already be ready to go. Things like equipment, licenses, all of it. For my client, the big challenge was how to set up the business without getting stuck waiting for months before she could actually use the space that she was paying for. So we came up with a plan. My client came to the US in B1 business visitor status. Now this is important. The B1 lets you handle business activities, but you can't do actual labor or employment. This worked out perfectly because my client was able to sign a lease, open a business bank account, meet with contractors, and get everything prepped without crossing into unauthorized employment territory. Once we had most of the investment locked in, we went ahead and applied for the E-2 visa. And let me show you how her investment broke down. She spent $5,100 for salon equipment, $8,400 for legal fees, $4,300 for a lease deposit, $3,300 for social media and marketing expenses, and $39,000 for construction. On top of that, she had some cash in the business account for operating expenses, bringing the total investment to around $82,000. Now, there's this concept called marginality, which essentially means that your E-2 business has to create jobs or economic opportunities for US workers. My client projected to hire 3 employees in the first year of operations and grow to 8 employees by the 5th year. One good thing about my client's local consular post is that they weren't dealing with a huge backlog, so the wait for her interview was around a month and a half. During that waiting period, I always do a lot of double checking, making sure that we've got all the pros and cons laid out. So in this particular case, here's what we had going for us. We had a really impressive client, a solid investment, a great marketing and job creation plan, but on the downside, the construction wasn't completely finished by the time of her interview. And without it being done, we couldn't get the final business license. We talked through the risks and she was comfortable going ahead with the interview. Worst case scenario, we'd have to wait until everything was 100% ready and we had that business license in hand before reapplying. Fortunately, it did not come to that. Her visa application was approved and now she gets to run her dream business in the US. So I hope you found this story helpful, but just a quick heads up. Every consular post and every officer is a little bit different. There's no one-size-fits-all formula. So if you're thinking of applying for the E-2 visa, make sure to consult with a talented E-2 visa lawyer to get advice that is tailored to your particular situation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.